Well, autumn is upon us. Everything's happening. We've got plenty of feed for the cows this year. It's been an unbelievably early start to the season, which is fantastic. I love that. Also means that winter's coming, so we need to get into the hives today and just check they've got plenty of stores. If they haven't, we'll get some feed into them. Time's getting on for that. We need to get it into them so they've got time to cure it and have it capped before the cold sets in. The other thing we're going to do today is just do some alcohol washes. We know Varroa's all around us, so we'll get in and hopefully we don't find any, but we need to just keep on top of that one. Alrighty, let's go get into it. Alrighty, we've got our smoker fired up. We've got our testing equipment ready to go here. So the plan is to get in there, shake a few of the brood frames into this box. We will then, using our half-cup scoop, don't tell the wife, take a sample, chuck them in the alcohol, give them a shake around, hopefully find nothing. But anyway, we will see how we go. But we will go get into it. Rule 1 when making a video is to turn it on before we start to make the video. So we have just done our first sample and realised the camera wasn't on. So what I've done is I've done the shake. For anyone that's familiar, they know how that works. I have kept the bees soaking a bit of the alcohol, and I'm going to keep that and give another shake tomorrow just to make a double check. But given we just did that one without recording it, we'll have a crack at doing another one. So smoke is ready. Got our hive tool, wax bucket. Let's go look, see what we find in this one. This is another one of our Hive IQ hives. Chair around the road, we don't need that today. We'll just give a bit of smoke, sample everything there. Take the lid off this one. See what we find in here first. That's the way bees meant to be. Nice and quiet. There's our first beetle for the day. Ironically walking around a beetle trap. Alright, so we're looking here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 full frames of bees in there. Fantastic. Let's see what stores we got up the top here. So today's task is A, we're looking for Varroa, and B, we're checking our stores to ensure we're set up for winter. So our first frame has drawn out comb and nothing. This frame would be, you won't be able to see it in the shadows, 75% full, probably 25% capped. On that side, 25% full and negligible amount capped. I'll pull out this first one and just leave it out, give you a bit of room for a minute. I like to pull out the first one for the simple fact it's usually got the least amount on it. The next frame here would be 80% full, 40% capped, same on both sides. And as we go along there, as you'd expect, a little bit more honey, nectar and a little bit more capped honey. So again, hopefully we'll find in this one there's a bit more honey down the bottom. We like to get it down the bottom so that we can take the top one off during the winter, which makes life a lot easier on them, trying to keep the hive temperature right. Smaller the cavity that we leave for winter, obviously the less for them to manage. Get that one off, maybe. queen excluder off. Yeah, smoke going. Just a little bit over the top, keep them out of the way. So with this one, what we're looking for is that hopefully there'll be some frames in here with brood on them, just like that. And what we're after is the nurse bees. Now we are just checking for a queen. I'm sure she's not on here. Just so we've got a lovely quiet hive. We want to look after this queen. I'm going to say she's not there. So we want the nurse bees, or the fact that the Varroa spend most of their life on the brood. So the phoretic ones, there's a higher percentage going to be on the nurse bees than the field bees. So by grabbing the bees off the brood frames, we're hopefully grabbing a high percentage of those nurse bees. So what we do is we just shake them in there. Field bees will all take off over the next minute or so. Put that frame there and we'll just go for a bit more of a look. Nice to find the queen just so that we know where she is. Again, another brood frame. It's all capped brood, no uncapped brood that I can see at all, which is not totally unexpected this time of year. Things are quietening down. Like a few more bees in there. Now the other thing, as I said, we're checking for is stores. You'll notice there's a little bit of nectar. Obviously you won't be able to see it in this light. A little bit of nectar around here. Not a lot though, not enough for what we want. So we'll keep going just to check what's on the rest of these frames. Try and find our queen to make sure we haven't got her in the box over there. Capped brood, very little nectar on that one. Same with that side. There's a few uncapped brood actually up here under these ones, but they're fairly mature. They'll be capped in the next day or so. So we do have some younger brood in there, so that's good. Can't see a queen. There's a bright queen cap. You know, I like the attitude of these bees. That queen cap could be useful come springtime, but that's a whole other video. So this frame would be 90% full of brood. This is a really good one. Plenty of young brood in there. So they are still laying. More queen caps there. I'll be keeping a fairly close eye on these, so I'm not even worried about the queen caps. If we get a queen going, we won't have drones, but we'll one of two things. We'll either just get rid of it at that point, or we'll put it in that other nasty hive next door. Still looking for our queen. And there she is in there, with a blue dot. See how good we are. Right at the end of my finger there. She's a beauty. Look at the brood on that comb there. That is, okay, it's not 100%, but it's as close as we're going to get. same on both sides. Young brood in there. Alright, let's get her back in before we lose it. Another thing we'll notice with that frame, still no nectar. Well, no nectar to speak of, there's a tiny little bit there. I'm just going to have a quick look at these while we're going, just to check if there might be some nectar here. A little more weight, no, full brood. Excellent quality, excellent quantity of brood, especially for this lake. And on this one, a bit of pollen, so that's good. I don't normally feed pollen substitute, I usually only feed sugar syrup. Big fan of sugar syrup, I think it's marvellous stuff. Now we've got our queen there, she's protected. Alright, so we've got our tub of alcohol. We've got all our nurse bees in here now. Hopefully most of the field bees are gone. We know the queen is in here. Get our half a cup. Plonk them in there. There our sample. Put the lid on. Right, now we'll pack up the hive as quick as we can. They're all out. Put the lid back on. Alright, so that's two done. We'll give this one a shake. And while we're shaking, we know both of those brood boxes are low on nectar and honey stores. So we need to do something about that. This one will need a feeder on it. And that one there, we may swap some frames around out of the top down to the bottom. We'll be able to do that, put a bit down there, and then we'll see what's left. But we may have to put a feeder on there. That's a beetle, we don't want them. So we need to shake this for about 15 seconds as the general consensus, so we'll go at least that. So the alcohol obviously sacrifices the bees, but it also kills the mites that may be on those bees, and then we'll wash them off and they'll hopefully end up down the bottom. I'll have a bit of a squeeze. I'm rather happy with the way we're looking, but we'll give them another bit of a shake. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check these again tomorrow. I've got these clear containers. Obviously I've only got the one container to do my shakes in, but we'll keep the bees marked in these little plastic containers till tomorrow, soaking in the alcohol wash, and then we can do a double check, because I think that's a good idea. So we'll just let that drain a bit. It'll work better if we take the lid off. Now let's just have a bit of a look in here. We've got a bit of debris. But I don't believe any of those debris are mites. So that's outstanding news. So we're going to call that a success. Sit our lid on that so no bees go flying in there. Alright, so we'll mark our hive. so that we know what sample that came from. Okay. There's my book to know which one it is. We're going to call it B today. We'll call this one B. Alright. 2 down with no mites. I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, I've got one more I reckon we might do today. And then the day is getting on a bit. We'll see how we're going with where the sun's sitting. We don't want to be too late in the day for these. Alright, we're going to have one more. Do one more hive today, I think. That'll give us 3 out of the 5 hives in this apiary, which is a very good sample. Smoke going. Obviously nothing beats 100%. Alright, so this top box is empty. So what that means is this can come off today. So that also means our excluder can come off. We'll grab our bucket, clean up some burr comb. Okay, so again we'll just we'll check for stores in this bottom box. I like to think there might be some, given that we had nothing in the top. So we do have, that's an outstanding frame. So I won't be able to see it in this light, but all around this area we've got capped honey and nectar, and then right through the middle we've got pollen. Couldn't ask for a better frame than that. That side, not quite as good. We've still got our capped nectar and a bit of brood. Pull out the edge one. It's got some weight to it as well. So this frame again, capped honey, pollen on one side. It's interesting they're both on one side. I don't know how good the camera is. Whether the light will show. You see the capped honey here, and then under there all the colours of the different pollens. So we found some brood. Or cap, oh no, there's some uncapped stuff there. So we will look for our queen. Can't see her on there anywhere. So we'll take this one over to our tub. Pump our bees in there. All the field bees can take off. Need to tidy up the shoulders of these frames so they fit nice. Hopefully fantastic frame of capped brood there. Bit of honey around the edges. All this brood's very mature. It looks like it'll hatch in the next few days, most of it. Can't see any queen on it. I think we've got a lot of that first frame, so we'll go a little bit further. More capped brood, bit of uncapped brood in this one as well. Good amount of honey around the corners. I'm liking this one a lot better than the others. Alright, I can't see the queen. So we'll try this one for some more bees. In there. So this frame is a really good one. Probably, if you work it out, probably 50% capped, and then another heap of uncapped nectar through the middle there. So that's a really good one. Take that off, we don't want that there. And then on that side, same again, mirror image. All of that's capped, and then a bit of brood through the middle. Even a bit of young brood in there. Still haven't seen the queen though. That's a good one. That is, I'm not going to say 100% because it's not, but it's very full, well capped. There's a bird there. Unless we're chasing the queen, I wouldn't expect to see her on that one, but you would not know. Another really good one. So we won't have to feed this lot. I'm happy with them. I'm not happy to haven't found the queen, but I'm happy with the way the bees are going as far as stores go. Have those nice couple of pollen ones at the start, and then you've got 1, 2, and this one looks fairly full as well. 3, I'm going to say full frames. Not quite on that side. I reckon I've got the equivalent of about 4 frames of honey in this hive, which is probably not dissimilar to the other hives, except the other hive is at the top. Just removing all this burr comb in here. Don't want that. So we'll start putting everything back. Now we haven't seen the queen. Bit of a worry. It's not a worry that we haven't found her as such, it's just a worry that because we haven't found her, we can't be 100% sure she's not in our sample box. Now, I'm just going to have another quick look through this one. They're empty. These couple got, they might have had. Oh, look at that. That's a good frame. So it looks like we might have 2 frames of honey in there, which we will take and bang in the freezer, and we will find somewhere more productive for that. So we'll get this one down to single today, which is really good. Oh, we'll sort our bees out first. Alright, we'll go. We'll check this again for the queen. Just the way they're acting, I don't think she's in here. So I'm as confident as I can be without actually seeing her, thinking she's not in there. There's no wing flapping saying here she is, here she is. There's no big clusters over her. Every time I knock a cluster off, they just disperse, they don't regather. So we'll grab a couple of them. We've got our half cup. We'll put these girls all back. Back in there. Do their thing. Yeah, smoker's still got any life in it. We'll just encourage them to go down a bit. On, and even though it's only the end of March, that hive is packed up and ready to go into winter already. So we will check it again in a couple of weeks, just to make sure that something untoward hasn't happened, but it's doing quite well. Alright, we'll take that box up to the freezer and I might go get a cordial, I reckon. Actually, we'll go shake those bees before we do anything. Alright, so our third hive, lid's on, let's give them a shake. Alright, we'll do the same again. Keep those bees and let them soak overnight and give them a shake tomorrow. So a quick squeeze in here now. Bit of debris, but can't see anything. It's good. Put them back in, just give them another quick shake. These in here. We'll go back and actually just top them up a little bit, put a bit more alcohol in each of those, just so that they're soaking well, and then we'll check them again tomorrow. So with 3 hives checked, no signs of Varroa, we're going to call that a win. We will see you on the next one.